Why was confidential information relating to President Cyril Ramaphosa allegedly sent to Major General Senona through WhatsApp? That explosive question is emerging from testimony before the Madlanga Commission, and it could become one of the most controversial issues to surface from this commission hearing. But before commissioners began questioning Senona, South Africans witnessed the emotional Karl Sander testimony that has become central to a growing polygraph scandal. Sander told the Madlanga Commission how he was subjected to a polygraph examination, including one linked to the theft of his own coffee machine inside a Hawks facility. Years later, he learned that the very polygraph result used against him was considered invalid because of examiner errors. The revelation has fueled public debate, with some observers questioning whether the case reflects a wider polygraph-rigged South Africa controversy and whether deeper problems exist within the South Africa justice system. But while attention focused on Sander's ordeal, another issue was quietly unfolding inside the same hearing. Because commissioners would later confront Major General Senona over sensitive documents allegedly sent to him by Vusamuzi Cap Matlala, the questioning has sparked intense public interest, with some commentators raising concerns about possible General Senona corruption, while others insist the commission must first establish all the facts. Questions were asked, explanations were challenged. And as the testimony continued, many observers began asking whether the Madlanga Commission had uncovered something far bigger than a disputed polygraph test. Some have even described the developments as evidence that the Madlanga Commission was shaken by the seriousness of the issues being raised, while debates about ANC corruption exposed continue across South Africa. In this video, we will show you what Karl Sander told the Commission, examine the questions put directly to Senona, and reveal why these developments from the Commission hearing are attracting national attention. But before we get into that, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and stay tuned as I bring you the latest updates, analysis, and developments from the Madlanga Commission. First, watch what happened when Karl Sander took the stand.
Jenning, I see that you are emotional, so you'll find time to compose yourself now.
If I was corrupt, I wouldn't sell drugs, I'd sell guns. My field of expertise is weapons.
And so in that position, you described it as being in a prison.
Commissioner, I work outside. I'm an outdoor person. You clock in through a checkpoint in the morning. You clock out at a checkpoint. There's no time. You cannot go out at a certain time. My only safe space was my coffee machine, and then they stole my coffee machine inside the DPCR. Sorry, I'm laughing about it. It's still so annoying. And I had to get polygraphed because of the theft of my own coffee machine.
Who asked you to be polygraphed for the theft of your own coffee machine?
General Senona. There were other exhibits, there were other items that were going missing in the environment, and again, I was seen as a suspect, and I had to go and get polygraphed for the theft of my own coffee machine.
Do you know if you passed?
I passed. I just want my coffee machine back.
Did you get it back?
No. No.
Okay. I think you were moved in February 2023.
Am I allowed to say? I think I was standing on their toes.
Oh, can you just elaborate on that?
Maybe being too successful, too many good recoveries, understanding how the syndicate works, understanding who the different role players in the environment were.
But shouldn't everybody within the force be happy about that?
We should be promoted to actually make that bigger and go further.
I guess what I'm trying to establish is why something that has all the hallmarks of a disciplinary process should be instituted against you when, as you say, you were quite successful, should those that purported to institute this disciplinary process not actually have appreciated what you were doing? I guess that's another way of trying to get an answer to Ms. Seegers-Nube's question.
Commissioner, it's very difficult for me sitting here because, as I say, I don't have a statement or anything like that, and now we're talking of a different subject. And it has affected where I am. And Commissioner's question is so valid, I could answer it for days. I'll give a Commissioner an example. The police has excellence awards. But you, as a policeman, to get the excellence award, have to motivate yourself to get the award. It's not your commander who says, "Well done, Warrant Officer, you did this, I'm going to put a letter in for you." It's the other way around. I must write my own story and hand it in to get the award. So management is getting the accolades, they get their pep, they get their accolades as commanders. But you, as the members that do the work, do not get the recognition the other way around. It's confusing, but that's how it works. So in answering your question, Commissioner, is the teams that work with me, I never work alone. The teams that work with me, they don't get recognition. Myself, there's no recognition. Maybe if you can go to my personal file and find a letter of recognition, I'll be happy because I haven't seen one.
Now you just watched Warrant Officer Karl Sander describe what it felt like to work inside a Hawks facility where cocaine went missing, where trust had collapsed, and where he was polygraphed, not over the drugs, but over his own coffee machine. And the Commission later confirmed that the polygraph used against him was invalid. That is the environment we are dealing with. That is the institution at the center of this inquiry. So now keep that picture in your mind, because the next clip takes us to the other side of the same commission, where the person being questioned is not a warrant officer, where the subject is not a stolen appliance, where what allegedly moved through WhatsApp is the personal and confidential information of the President of South Africa. Watch carefully.
This is a document that's marked strictly confidential at the top, and it says confidential information concerning the identity of the President, and then it has information relating to President Ramaphosa. You see that?
I see the document, Commissioners.
So, why did he send this to you?
I also do not know, and if he sent it to me, I didn't open. If he sends it to me, I didn't open it. You know, these documents, when I look at them now, because it's now that I see the contents, I would have reported this to my principal.
So you would have reported this to your principal?
Yes, because it is unusual that a private person can have these documents. So I didn't open them. I didn't know what was inside, but if I knew, Commissioners, definitely I would have written an information note to my supervisor, informing him about this, what I've just discovered with a person of so-and-so, Mr. Madlanga.
So you're saying that, again, you're saying in the meeting where he sends you simultaneously these documents, he doesn't say anything to you about what he's sending to you. You have no discussion about it.
That's correct.
In the course of the meeting, and you have no discussion about it after the meeting either.
That's correct, Commissioners. I didn't read it. If I read it, the communication after that was going to be there about it, but I was going to write an information note to my supervisor in order for action to be taken, what needs to be taken.
What you just watched is not a minor procedural issue. The Madlanga Commission was not asking Senona about a routine administrative matter. They were pressing the head of the KwaZulu-Natal Hawks on why documents containing sensitive and confidential information linked to President Cyril Ramaphosa were allegedly sent to him through WhatsApp by a man Senona himself described as a brother. That man is Vusamuzi Kat Madlala, a controversial businessman, a tender entrepreneur, a figure the Commission has linked to alleged connections with crime syndicates and drug cartels. And the questions the Commission kept returning to were not complicated. Why were those documents sent? Why were they not reported? Why did Senona claim he never opened them, despite their sensitive nature? And why did he describe Madlala as a brother while also claiming he had no interest in what that brother was sending him? These are the contradictions the commissioners could not move past. Because here is what makes this significant. We are not talking about a personal message between friends. We are talking about strictly confidential documents, allegedly containing identity, information related to the sitting president of South Africa, moving through the private WhatsApp of a senior Hawks commander, and the explanation offered was that he never read them. Now contrast that with what you saw in the first clip. Karl Sander, a warrant officer, was subjected to a polygraph examination over a coffee machine. He was brought to tears. He was humiliated. He was investigated. And the test used against him was later declared invalid. Yet at the same commission, the head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal is explaining why he received confidential presidential information on his personal phone from an alleged cartel-linked businessman and did nothing. That contrast alone tells you something about how this institution has been operating. The Madlanga Commission was established to investigate criminality, political interference, and corruption inside South Africa's criminal justice system. And what the testimony of both Sander and Senona reveals is that the problems are not only at the bottom of the chain, they appear to run in every direction. The Commission is still probing. The questions are still unanswered. And as this inquiry continues, South Africans are left asking one question that neither a failed polygraph nor a missing coffee machine can explain away. Why did Senona have Ramaphosa's ID on WhatsApp?